Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to say, Call Halal Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakah HaKudash, and double honor to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who taught us this truth and rule well. And shalom to the hopeful elect, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakah HaKudash, Barak Adam. It's the brother Kazah coming back at it again with another lesson. And the title of this lesson is going to be World War III Update. The clash is coming. All right, now, I saw this from somewhere, brother had done a lesson on this. I got to, land back on this too, watching the times, man. You know what I'm saying? NATO, just going off this article, it reads NATO to put 300,000 troops on high alert in response to a Russia threat. Okay, now brothers know, the situation that's going on out there. The Russians is basically taking over the Ukraine. And now, that's basically completely, destroyed the relationships between the Europeans and the Russians, because before, they were kind of, easing into diplomacy, if you will. You had, like, for example, they had, the fuel trade. You know what I'm saying? Where, Russia was one of the main providers of, for Europe, as far as, gasoline, oil, and other fuels were, but now with this going on, they basically cut that out, and now the fuel in Europe, being, $8, $10 a gallon, now it's like, what I'm saying? They getting ready to clash. All right, and that's what gave the inspiration of the title, okay? Because the clash is coming. Yahweh Shem Yahushai is putting hooks into the mouths of these countries, and they're going to go at it, man. All right, it is biblical prophecy. As you see, it says NATO to put 300,000 troops on high alert in response to the Russian threat, okay? So that's ultimately what's going to happen. NATO and the EU, is putting out 300,000 troops. They're activating 300,000 troops. That is not a small number of troops, man. All right, and they're stationing them in Europe, because they believe that the Russians is going to invade. All right, and then we have another article. All right, it's a couple articles. I found this one on my own through the Spirit. All right, and it reads: the U.S. to ramp up military presence in Europe to counter Russia. All right, and this is something that is being seen now. All right, that clash is gonna come. All right, it says new troops and weapons are part of NATO's response to the war in Ukraine. All right, including the first permanent troops, permanent U.S. troops to Poland. All right, so they're already mobilizing their militaries to basically counteract and fight the Russians. All right, they supporting the Ukrainians on the low. You know what I'm saying? They sending them American fighters and whatnot, which that's why you have that controversy. With some of these fighters getting captured. And the Russians, I don't think they're gonna spare them. You know what I'm saying? So hey, man. This is ultimately going according to plan. You know what I'm saying? This is, great news for us in this knowledge. All right, because it shows that the hour where this kingdom gets destroyed and Lord willing, if we're of the elect, we get saved. It draws near. All right, that's why the scriptures say, in the book of Matthew chapter 24 and 6. We're gonna open up with that one. All right, it reads, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. All right, and this is, what would be considered, not this part, but this one, what would be something that would be considered, a rumor of war. All right, because it came out on Washington Post, which, they might be, downplaying it. They might be trying to, deny it, to keep people from panicking. But it says those 300,000 high readiness NATO troops is a concept, not reality. All right, so for now, it could be considered a rumor of war. All right, but either way, Yahweh Shem Yahushai is stirring up these nations, because what's going to end up happening is these Russians all right, who, in the prophecies, are referred in the Bible. It's like in the prophecies of the Bible are referred to as the Medes. All right, they're going to destroy Babylon. All right, and they're going to send, they're going to shoot their nukes over here in this place. All right, that's what's going to happen that's what's going to happen according to prophecy. Okay, so continuing on in the reason, ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. All right, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Okay, so don't be troubled at this, man. Yeah, it seems overwhelming. It seems crazy. But hey, man, if you in this faith and you in this knowledge and you really about this thing, man. This should be good news. You know what I'm saying? This should be good news to you, man. All right, and the reason why is because this is just another another milestone, if you will. Another sign that our salvation is coming. Okay, Lord willing, we're of that number. All right, so continuing on, and it reads, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Okay, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All right, so that's, what I'm saying, what was going to happen, nation against nation. All right, kingdom against kingdom. Okay, and that's what's basically being, made manifest. Let's get the book of Joel chapter 3. All right, so the book of Joel chapter 3 verse 9, and it reads, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war and wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near and let them come up. All right, now the Gentiles is, these different nations. All right, and it says, prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near and let them come up. Meaning, raise up their militaries. All right, verse 10, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears, and let the weak say, I am strong. Okay, so that's, what's going to happen. It's like, not that's what's going to happen. I keep on, repeating that, Salakia. All right, no, but I meant to say, that's what's been happening. All right, them beating their plowshares into swords and their pruning hooks into spears. All right, is basically, has been made manifest by ways of these nations, these different countries, researching and developing their militaries and their nuclear capabilities. All right, and as a result, you have the weak now that are saying that they are strong. All right, and this goes into the fact that America, and these Western countries, were the first ones to get the nuclear capabilities. All right, which really, it was America that was the first one to get the nuclear capabilities, and then if I'm not mistaken, the second one was the UK. All right, and then Russia followed shortly after that. All right, in response to these Western countries, getting their nuclear capabilities up, man. And this was all during the time of the Cold War. You had the arms race, the nuclear arms race. And that got revamped in the modern day. All right, now you got these hypersonic intercontinental ballistic missiles that could go through, any type of defense that's out there, man. So, now that's a manifestation, as a result, the weak are saying that they are strong, and in a sense, if you look at Russia, the Chinese, the North Koreans, the Iranians, their counterparts, you know what I'm saying? They according to, I don't want to say according to Western society, but if you look at the dynamics between them and the Western society, you could say they're more like the underdogs. You know what I'm saying? They're more like the underdogs, especially with Russia. All right, because Russia used to be, the Soviet Union. All right, and then that broke apart. It fell, splintered. You have, the Eastern countries that used to be part of, the Soviet Union. They broke away. And in the Soviet Union, Russia, came down into, economic in a terrible, economic depression, a recession, if not, but now with this dude Putin, he basically, turned things around for the Russians, and he, rose them up. He basically, I would say, he restored them to their, to their former glory. I wouldn't say he restored them to the former glory, because, back then they had Ukraine, they had, all these Eastern countries. All right. But the fact that they are going and they're invading, the Ukraine, regardless of the NATO and the EU's what they may feel towards it, is just a manifestation that they are saying, that's just a declaration of their strength. That's them saying that they are strong. Like, look, we about to just take over this country, and yeah, they may not be part of NATO, but guess what? Y'all not gonna like it, and y'all not gonna do anything about it. That's basically what they're doing. So now in response, you got, the NATO and the EU amassing all these troops. And why are they doing that? Because they are about to go at it, man. They are about to go at it. You don't think that there's, clandestine, covert, special operations being, taking place over there? Of course, and it won't be long until these Cold Wars, until this, the proxy wars and these Cold Wars actually turn into a hot war. All right. They are about to get it in. OK, they are about to go to blows. All right. And the reason why, is ultimately, the Shai putting the spirit into them, by way, the angels, going into the minds of their different leaders, going into the minds of their different leaders. And it's all about, the little politics and the different, narratives that they have. That's basically what they're, the blind, I wouldn't say the blindness, but that's, the wine that they're drinking, that's causing them to do this. And that's ultimately the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai that's causing them to do this. So continuing on, all right, so like you not to go off into a tangent. All right, it reads, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right, now the mighty ones is talking about the angels. All right, and it reads, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Okay, so I'm going to read this again. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, because guess what? It's going to be 2nd Ezra chapter 13, where it describes how, the Son of Man with the thousands of heaven is going to come, with a huge chariot, and he's going to completely destroy, the collection of all these, of all these nations, basically the militaries of all these nations. All right. And that's basically what this scripture is going into. All right. Where it says, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, which Yahweh Shaphat means Yahweh's judgment. All right. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Okay. And that's, ultimately what's going to happen is it's going to, it's more expounded upon in depth in the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 13. All right. But for the sake of time, we're just going to keep it short, man. All right. And this is basically, what's going down, because ultimately, Babylon is slated to be destroyed at the hands of the Russians. All right. Who in biblical, prophecy, are referred to as the Medes. All right. So, hey, man, Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. You know what I'm saying? Just watching the times. All right. Things that are coming to pass, the things that are coming to fruition. Very, great news. Everything's going according to plan, according to the scriptures, man. All right. You even got, brother, put up a video, you even got the Euphrates River, drying up, man, which is part of that prophecy in Revelation chapter 16, where it says, make a way for the kings of the east. You know what I'm saying? Because they going to get involved too, man. All right. They going to get judged too. All right. So it's just beautiful how everything is coming to pass according to this book. All right. Which, just going to close out with the last precept. The book of Isaiah chapter 55 verse 11. And it reads, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. All right. So, hey, with that, I'm going to say, call halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Ba'ashem Rachah Kudash, for giving me the spirit to do this lesson. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. With that, I'm going to say shalom. On to the next.